good sound on. My lighting's not that great right now because I had to switch gears. But I still wanted to make sure that I showed up and did this training for you guys, because this is a really, really important training. Today, yes, now we're working with something. Today we're going to actually be talking about the importance of building your brand. Okay, so now we're moving into like things that are a little bit more advanced in marketing, but it's very, very crucial that you kind of get this part, and it's going to be a real game changer for you, and it's going to help you to solidify what direction you want to go into in this business. Okay, so some of you guys are in here for and you have online marketing businesses. Most of your businesses are predominantly, hey Keisha, online. But there are some people in here who have brick and mortar businesses and also want to start that. So this will also be important for you establishing your brand. So just bear with me, guys. We had to like change gears at the last minute. You know, you think I would be able to do this because I used to be a singer, and you never know what's going to happen on stage, you know. So yeah, this is what I was looking for right here. I completely lost my website and everything that I was getting this information, but this is really, really solid information, guys. Let me put this on here. I'm gonna find it. Why? Because I'm a Googler. All right, guys. Thanks for commenting, everybody. Thanks for showing up. Yep, this is it. I found it, guys. Okay, cool. So let's jump into it. Okay, so we talk about a lot of different strategies in here, which are very important. You know, in the beginning, we all talk about, you know, building your business pages, you know, getting your content out there, building relationships, you know, showing up out there, because all of this is going to make sense once you get to this place, and then it'll be like, oh, okay, that's why they said to go ahead and do this. But along the way, as you're grabbing these different online marketing opportunities or different tools that you can use and resources in your business, you want to kind of make sure that it's in alignment with your brand. Okay, so usually in the beginning, you're not even thinking about that stuff yet, and you really you know, kind of want to have it in the back of your mind, but you want to kind of get the foundational structures set up first. So you want to get your links and all those things, and your websites, your business pages, your profile, all of that. Okay, so now we want to get a little bit more serious about our brand. Okay, so what is a brand? Okay, a brand, the way that I'm going to describe it in layman's terms, would be like the DNA of your business. Okay, so it's like what does your business stand for? Okay, you know, what are things that people see and they associate with your business? You know, what types of slogans do you have? You know, do you have a logo? Are there certain colors and things that you use? You think about big, large corporations like McDonald's, okay, for instance. So if you hear da 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 da, we already know without looking at the TV, without paying attention to it, that's McDonald's. Okay, they've built such a solid brand around that jingle that everybody knows that that's McDonald's. Okay, now granted, that's a large corporation, but you can still have that same type of influence in your industry. Okay, and in our industry as online marketers and just out there online, it is an oversaturated market. So it's extremely important that we do things that set us apart from our peers and our competition, because at the end of the day, there's billions of people online. We're going to talk about Facebook in general, and Facebook has 2.6 billion people on daily. Okay, so I complain about Facebook all the time, but the bottom line is Facebook is still a solid lead generating source. Okay, so I can't just chunk and throw them away because it's just too much opportunity out there on Facebook if used properly. Okay, so I have people all the time that come to me for coaching sessions and stuff like that, and they say, hey, I want to do what you're doing. Okay, see, like how you have your profile, how you can't really tell what it is that you're doing. You get the gist of who I am by my profile. So what do you see? You see that I'm a holistic practitioner, so I have a lot of mindset stuff, a lot of that holistic stuff in there, but I'm also an online marketing strategist. So you can go up and down my profile and you'll be able to get that, whether it be through YouTube videos, whether it be through the group, whether it be through my other efforts where I market around, whether it be the certain types of opportunities that I choose that are in alignment with my brand. Okay, so I'm constantly always keeping that in mind now. Okay, so I had somebody who came to me before and was like, they said, hey, why don't you sell something? It was like a drop shipping type thing, and there was nothing wrong with the product itself. Excuse me, I'm sorry. It was nothing wrong with the product itself. It was just that it wasn't in alignment with my brand. You know, I think it was like selling earbuds or something. Like, nothing wrong with selling earbuds, but that doesn't really fit into my online marketing strategy, coaching, holistics, and the things that I do over there. So, you know, I can pass on that one. I don't have to take each and everything that comes along my way. And when you're clear about your brand, then you can have the power to say that, and you can kind of start attracting the clients, customers, or business partners that you want. All right, so why is building an online personal brand something that's important? Well, first and foremost, it's going to basically, a brand represents your total sum of all of your like career and professional achievements, accomplishments, things that you've done. Okay, so take for instance a lot of the skills that I've learned online. I've been able to score in certain jobs because I created other skills. Okay, and I came in there with my real estate, I came in there with my entrepreneurship skills, I came in there. So you come in almost like as a manager, as a leader. You don't think like employees. You have these skills and you've had experience with them. So that's how over time you can say that I'm able to do X, Y, Z, and this is who I am as a professional. It's the same way with your brand. Okay, so it's going to be imperative that you go ahead and get clear about that. Okay, so you want to get a clear vision about that, because that's a representation of you. Okay, it's a representation of you. It's a representation of your business, and what type of representation do you want to have? That's why when I say like writing down goals and stuff, it's important. It's a method to all this madness, guys. And if you do it in little bite-sized pieces, by the time you get here, it won't seem like, oh my gosh, what am I supposed to do? Okay, so if you've been doing this along the way, then you're able to say, okay, I know I want to help people with generational wealth. I know I want to help people in the financial industry. I know I want to help people in the health and wellness industry. I know I want to get into coaching. I know I want to get into video marketing, whatever it is that resonates with you and your brand. Okay, but the thing about it is you want to be consistent with it, and you want to make sure that any of these other opportunities and things that you're incorporated in your business, that they're tools. Okay, because at the end of the day, who am I? I'm Z, the holistic marketer. I'm Success with Z. I'm Success with Zipporah. I'm all these things that I go around branding myself as all over the place, so that there's no mistaking that Zipporah's a coach. There's no mistaking that Zipporah has credible backed credentials of being a holistic practitioner as well. So how do you start to attain this brand if you're just now starting out? That's where skills come in, because you're going to go out once you create your brand or figure out what it is, what type of brand that you're implementing for yourself, and you're going to create content. Sorry, that was my cat, guys. You're going to start creating content and start attracting and talking to your audience, you know, and basically what it's going to do is it's just going to weed out all the other people. It just kind of like, it's magical how it happens, you know, when you're clear about your brand, your business, the direction that you're going. People can see it. They can feel it. They know that this person is doing something. They're paying attention to you. They're watching you. People are always watching you, whether you know it or not. So first things first, you want to create your brand. You want to determine how you're going to brand yourself. Okay, so does that mean logos for you? Does that mean you want to stick with certain colors? Does that mean that whatever it is for you? Research it, guys. Okay, and then you're going to define your audience. So all of this stuff, like I said, is going to fall into play once you kind of get your brand together and you say that, okay, I want to work with single moms. You know, I want to work with stay-at-home moms, or I want to work with students. Then shoot, you just weeded out a good portion of people, and you can now start to market, define your audience. You know who they are. You can now start to target them and speak directly to them. Okay. And then something else you want to do is you want to start to develop a strong professional social media presence. Okay. And I like to say professional because I think that in internet marketing, sometimes network marketing, that's missing. I think we just kind of going out here and we're doing business any kind of way. And that's okay. That works for some people. That's good. But I come from a professional background, so I do business and I conduct business, and I can now have found other people that I can network with that have that same type of mindset, that we get in there and we work, you know, no questions asked, nobody's making excuses. It's like-minded individuals. We help each other. There's no hating and things like that. Okay, so once you get your brand serious, you're out there. It's almost like you're introducing your business and your brand out there to the world. We want to know finally, okay, because you've been putting your products, your services out there. That's great. We saw that. We want to know who you are, and we want to know how you're going to bring value to the community, how you can help whoever your target audience is. Okay. So that's very, very important. And so you want to get out there and start putting your stamp all over the place, whatever that is, bossed up marketing, whatever kind of slogan or logo you get for yourself. You want to start making sure that that's getting in front of people's faces. Look, that's what McDonald's does. All these years, these guys got all this money, but they're still doing it like they were the day before, because it's important to stay first, front and center in front of their target audience's eyes. Okay. So, of course, we already talked about curating content to share across platforms. We already know that stuff. And then, of course, if there's a registered domain name or get a professional email address. Now, you don't necessarily have to do that depending on the type of business that you have. But it doesn't hurt to do that, especially if you start to brand yourself and there's certain things that you want to go ahead and claim and own. Okay, so if I'm going to go out here and be Success with Zipporah, then I'm going to get Success with Zipporah. I'm going to get Success with Z. I just turned my mind, body, spirit into Holistics with Z. I've got Crypto Z. So certain things, if you kind of get the picture, the gist, it's like I'm going to get successwithz.com, successwithzipporah.com, different things that can be used inside of my brand that make it known who I am, so people can associate me and my brand. They know who we are. So you don't have to do that right away, but it is something good to have. And then, of course, you want to have some sort of a professional email address. So if you are going by some sort of a slogan or whatever your thing is, you do want to go ahead and get a Gmail. I got a Success with Zipporah at Gmail, but now I realize that's too long, so I'm going to get a Success with Z. I'll just have both of them, So you also want it to somewhat match, what it is that you're doing. Okay. And then, of course, get a local vanity phone number. I don't know if we talked about that before, but we should have if we haven't. But make sure you get a Google Voice number. It's free. You can have it forwarded to your phone. And be sure to check those, guys, because now my workload is picking up. And, when my phone rings and I don't recognize that number, I'm like, I don't know that. And then next thing you know, I check my Google Voice and I'm like, oh my gosh, I've missed some serious texts, So be sure to remember that you are running a business. And so you do have to check these different resources and stuff that you have if you're conducting business. So let's go ahead and skip down a little bit. Getting the website, like I said, when you're ready for that, that's a good thing to have. And then we did briefly touch on coming up with a tagline. I don't know what mine is. I mean, that's not necessarily so important right away, but it could be. Like I said, when you're talking about branding, if you get a tagline, you may, end all of your posts with that, or it may be in all of your email marketing. It may be kind of your thing. Like I will say in my email marketing and some of my posts, a lot of what I have is like stay growing. Okay. So at the end, that's how I'll leave. At the end of it, bottom line is, guys, stay growing. Okay. We talked about a logo. That's really fun. You can either make that yourself or go ahead and spend a little bit of money and get that done. You can either get that done from Fiverr, or you can go out and get some digital marketing services that cost a little bit more. But you don't have to go super crazy on your logo. But you do essentially want to have something depending on the type of business that you have. And then, of course, now we're going backwards a little bit, but make sure you write your bio and take a good headshot. We talked about that in the beginning. Okay, so you do want to have something. It doesn't have to be professional. Now that we have iPhones and we have apps and filters and all that stuff, you can come up with some pretty nice stuff, but just make sure it looks nice, make sure it's clear, the quality of it's good. And, you want to have some sort of a bio, okay, because that's really cool too, because if people are looking at it, you want to have a little short paragraph or so that says what you do. Mine is, I'm an online marketing strategist and coach. I help businesses and brands take their business to the next level. And I also show people various ways that they can make money online using their cell phone and their laptop. Pretty much sums up everything that I do. Now, I don't get all into my holistic stuff when I'm doing my Success with Z, because the two different audiences, right? So when I'm doing Holistics with Z, that's something totally separate. And I'm talking to these guys about self-care and different types of health and wellness products and classes and stuff. So I stay on that, with that audience. I don't try to bring my Success with Z brand over there. It's an extension of, if that makes sense. Okay, so that's another thing I see a lot of people do too. They'll put it all out there. I got so many links. It would look crazy if I put all those links out there. I've got them strategically placed. And then, of course, if people come along and it's something that can benefit them, then I'll go ahead and reveal it at that time. So here's something else for people who like to write. You can start a blog and also write about the things that you know. Okay, so that's really cool. I'm actually kind of getting into blogging by accident with holistics because I had a natural talent and ability of writing from a young age. So that's another thing too. When you are coming up with your brand and you're thinking about your brand, incorporate all of your skills, okay? Incorporate all of your experiences from your jobs, from different programs, clubs, or whatever extracurricular activities. You'll be surprised how those little skills that you learned along the way will set you apart from other people. That's why, like the holistics thing, for a while, I didn't know how I was going to put the two together, because I was like, well, this is so different and this is so different. And somebody told me, I had a coach that told me, she was like, but that's you. You know what I'm saying? If you're trying to be anything other than you, people are going to know that. So, and once I started to realize that, hey, you know, this is me. Why are you leaving that out? Not only is this me, this was me before I was doing this. So how could I leave that out? You know, how could I hide that part of myself? And as I began to express more of that, I started attracting more like-minded health and wellness people. I started attracting a better network of people. And guess what else I tapped into? I tapped into a whole nother market of health and wellness professionals out there who don't know how to market. How cool is that? So now I'm able to take the skills that I have as an online marketing strategist, the experience that I have as a holistic practitioner, merge them together, create streams of income, and help other people do it. And that's all a part of my brand, who I am, what I stand for. And so once you start to get clear about these things, you write them down, you start to implement them, it's going to become you. Okay, so now you become the brand. Okay, so then you'll be a lot more mindful about some of the products and services that you're incorporating into your business. Okay, because some people I cut off in this industry because they were guilty by association. Okay, some of the people, some of the businesses that they were around and some of the shit that was going on, I was like, my integrity, I don't want nothing to do with it. And what made me kind of go into my own direction and say, I'm going to focus on me, my brand, and my business. And if there's some other product, services, or things that I could take along the way, so be it. And if there's something that needs to be changed, I can also change it in my business. But what made me do that is I had friends of mine from the offline networking, my real estate stuff, and they know me for business. And they started seeing some of these grimy looking marketers pop up on their friends list, and they were like, Zipporah, just doesn't look good. It looks like the stuff that you're offering may be scammy just because you're associated with some of these people. And I had to really check that, because I was like, I'm building a business that I want to be long-term sustainable. I want it to be one that has integrity, and I want to never have anybody Google anything negative about me. So I had to completely change my direction. I had to be very mindful about the different types of things that I offer and what I'm doing, and how it affects me and my brand, because that's my business, guys. And you guys should be the same way. Now, see, a lot of people don't talk about that. They just talk about how to make the money. They talk about a couple of strategies, and that's really cool. But nobody's really trying to tell you how to be the best you can be, okay? Because that's why I kind of like gear more towards affiliate marketing, because I like helping people. I don't like partnering with people that I wouldn't normally be with business partners with, okay? I don't like chasing after people who are not as motivated as me and don't have the work ethic as me. So that's not my style, okay? And I know that. So I try to stay away from those types of things, because I prefer to work with people who are willing to put in the work. They're willing to change their mindset so that they can grow and they can flourish and be the best they can be. I don't need an entourage, and I don't need, to have puppets that follow me everywhere. Essentially, I would like for us to become equals and be colleagues around the round table, going on trips together, because we're making money. All right. So that's what I was talking. I just got way off on the blog tip, right? I guess that's not really what I want to do. But I was just kind of going into the blog about how when you start to do this, other things will come to fruition. Okay. So you'll start to unlock and activate other gifts and abilities that only you have. Okay. So don't cheat yourself in this game, guys. This thing is beautiful. When we're talking about mindset, we're talking about doing the work, creating that level of consistency, that discipline. I mean, there's a lot of shifts that need to go on, because a lot of us have a lot of bad habits. Let's face it, we got a lot of bad habits. We're coming in from different types of mindsets. Some of us have employee mindsets and things like that. So there's a lot of changing that needs to go on. And as you change and grow, and I know this from the healing aspect, you'll start to activate things inside of yourself, latent talents and abilities that are unique. And like I said, everybody's got these talents. You know, we were all made here, all born with the same amazing talents, as well as the same God-given abilities to be able to express different things. So why are we not showing that? You know, why is everybody following in the same line? I don't understand that. That to me is odd. But, you know, especially when each person can be their individual piece of this. So you guys want to be one of those types, right? All right, so, here's a good one. This one is make sure your information is up to date, okay? So that's kind of what I'm doing too. So if you're somebody who already has all this stuff together, you want to periodically make sure that you're always going back, checking your links, making sure there's nothing out of date, making sure that, you know, you're keeping everything fresh, you know, so that it looks like your business is active and you're actively doing your business. You don't have a business page sitting there that hasn't been posted on for 3 months, and I know there's nobody in here like that. So if you are, you know, like I said, this is a great time to do it too. At the end of the year, we're getting ready for 2021, so we want to start thinking about different products and services that we're going to put in there, what we're going to offer. I cut some things out that weren't working. I was like, okay, time to go, gave it a good shot, and now I'm going to replace those with some other things. I'm going to add some other skills in that I'm going to be implementing next year. But at the same time, I'm going back. I'm like, I got to change this cover page. I got to add this website. I got to move this. So go ahead and go back and make sure that everything is up to date when you are doing this stuff. And then, this is a really good one. Actively listen to the news in your industry. Very, very important if you're somebody in the internet marketing space, because things are changing rapidly all the time. I see that Facebook just changed little things that they did in Messenger. They started changing the way that the comments are, how now it's blue, certain things that are clickable. They made it a little harder to share groups. So just keep up with those things. You know, you want to keep up with how the algorithm is working, you know, what's working, what's not. For instance, Instagram is not showing as many posts because of privacy laws in Europe. Okay, so stuff like that you want to stay abreast to in your industry. So obviously, if you're in finances and you're in credit repair or something like that, you want to pay attention to the grants that's going on, you know, stuff like that. So stay abreast to what's happening in your industry, what's happening with credit or whatever you're in. And then this is a really good one. Give credit where credit is due. Okay, so like even if you are sharing people's stuff or videos or whatever, make sure that you're crediting the person that you got the information from. Or if you were inspired by someone to do something, go ahead and do that. I see a lot of people do that. It's strange. I don't understand that. They'll take something, and instead of them saying, hey, you know what, I really appreciate that, you inspired me, which I do that all the time, and they'll just not do that. Or they'll take somebody's post and not even credit it. So don't be that guy or girl. We don't want to be that guy or girl. And what's this one? Ooh, very, very important. Develop your story. Okay, very, very, very important. I can't believe this one made it to the end. So developing your story is so crucial, but as you get clear about your brand, your story's got to be in there. Your story has to be in there because people want to know who you are, not who you want us to see, not the fit and trim you, not the always looking like I woke up like this. We want to know who you are. Who were you? What have you been through? What did you go through to get here? And somebody told me that before. They were like, you got to share your story. And I was kind of like, I don't want to be that vulnerable. I don't want people knowing that much about me on Facebook. I mean, obviously do it within reason. You know, you don't want to go out there telling this story that's going to have everybody like, so you want to kind of, use some kind of discretion when you are explaining and expressing your story. But you want to be able to be real enough that you touch people, because not everybody's going to jump out there and be like, oh, yeah, that happened to me. But what I've had when I did share my story is I would have people contact me in Messenger, and you would be surprised some of the things that they would share with me. And it was just, or how it inspired them, or how it helped them, or how somebody else went through that, and just you're being vulnerable and you're being real and allowing people into who you are. That says a lot about integrity and credibility and honesty as a business person and a professional as well. Okay, because a lot of these people that are doing grimy stuff, they're not trying to be seen. They don't want to be, they're not accessible. They're hiding, so if you're somebody who's up front and center. You're honest. You're able to tell people that, hey, this is me. You know, I'm not perfect. I mean, we've got people in the industry that have been in prison. We've got people in the industry that have had addictions. We've got people in the industry that can probably relate to each and every person out there in some sort of way or another. So don't be afraid to share your story and develop your story. Okay, so story marketing is like a whole nother training. I'm not even going to get too deep into that, but that is very important when you're, getting clear about your brand, is to make sure that you incorporate your story in there. All right, guys, so I think that was everything. That was deep information, okay? We had a lot of information in that, okay? So get clear about your brand. What is your brand? Your brand is going to be the DNA of your business, okay? Your brand is going to be the essence of what you stand for, okay? And then your marketing efforts are going to be the expression of that, okay? So that is what you want to get clear about. And like I said, I'm not here to bash anybody that's in any MLM. I've been in MLMs. You know, everybody's got their preference. There's some people that love it, and more power to them. I'm just saying that if you are somebody who wants to create a long-term sustainable business that you truly have control over, so regardless, like I said, of what happens to these companies that go out in a year, your company is still intact. Your company is still moving on and changing and moving with the times and technology. So hopefully you guys got some value out of this. I am so sorry about my computer. Don't know what happened. It didn't want to, it worked like a charm, I'm telling you, right until it was time to like hit play, and then all of a sudden stuff started sticking. It was crazy, but I'm glad I was able to get in here with you guys and get you this value. If you have any questions about anything, feel free to drop those down in the comment section. I haven't read a word. I haven't read a word you guys were saying. Yeah, it looks like everybody's getting good value. Of course, if you got any questions about anything, make sure that you drop those in the comment section. I'm going to be reaching out to each and every last one of you with a personal message to see if there's any way that I can help you. And also 2021 is going to be so epic, y'all. This manifestation stuff is serious, okay? Also, update, next Saturday. Yep, next Saturday, December the 19th. We're going to be having the second annual virtual vision board party. I got the details in here somewhere. That's a free event, and we're going to get real up in there. We're going to talk about law of attraction. We're going to talk about manifestation and visualization practices that you can start to incorporate, and how you can create a vision board so you can take 2021 and beyond and manifest your greatness, guys. I got so much happening. You guys are going to be so surprised when I start telling you about some of the stuff. So I also know that next year is not about talking about it. It's about being about it. So I'm going to be showing you guys a lot of different stuff. So I won't be doing like I was doing before, where I was telling you each and every little nook and cranny about the moves I was making. So you guys are just going to have to see it. So, all right, guys, you guys have a phenomenal rest of the weekend. And like I said, get at me if you have any questions about anything. All right, peace.